Hey everyone, welcome back to Mario Galaxy 2. Here we are in... This is Boulder Bowl Galaxy? I literally already forgot. But this is a pretty cool one. Another sort of neat power-up in this game is the Rock Mario. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Rock Mario. It's pretty simple. You shake and you become a ball of rock, and you can hit big things. And that's about it. And later on there are some pretty tricky stars revolving around like extended courses of ramps and things that you have to go over with this power-up, so looking forward to that. I mostly just like yawning. I like the big crystal thing that the comet medal was in. It was cool. And I unfortunately did not hit all of the stupid pins here. Felt like a failure. I've not usually had trouble doing that, but oh well. What was I even saying? I don't know. If you cannot tell, I am extremely tired. I am recording this a little bit late. No real big reason, just didn't feel like doing it earlier. I had a weird hankering to play GTA 5 and not even like do anything for real in the game, just kind of like dick around. I like just turn on cheats and just did some stuff. Just for fun, because I realized it had just been a few weeks since I've like just sat down and played a video game for fun and not for like a video or a stream or whatever, like just hanging out and gaming. Hadn't done that in a minute, so I was doing that earlier today during the time that I would usually devote to doing video stuff, so apologies for getting stuff up late, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I can already tell that this is the less popular of the two LPs. That always seems to happen, that my bigger LPs that I like put more time and effort into and just upload more videos of always seem to be overshadowed by whatever secondary LP I do. Maybe, I don't know if it has to do with my specific selection of games or what. But I'm not really complaining. I just think it's funny. I definitely have noticed that the licensed games tend to be the more popular ones, which I guess makes sense. I've kind of made that my bread and butter for the majority of the time that I've had this gaming channel. P.S. I want to, just to float a little idea by you guys and see how people feel about it. I do not necessarily right away, but at some point, I'm thinking of maybe changing the name of this channel from something different than Timbo 2. Mostly because I think I'll keep Timbo as the name of the main channel because I think it just fits well. But although I do know of, I believe I've seen a YouTuber that has like a couple 100,000 subscribers that is also just called Timbo, so whoops. But I kind of want to make this something that isn't Timbo 2. It can have Timbo in the name, but I kind of like just to make it more of just its own thing, rather than like an extension of something else. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like just this being its own independent LP channel. Obviously, I like talk about stuff that I talk about in the videos on my other channel and everything. Quite often I mention my other channel and whatever, but you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Anyway, did you notice that there was an edit and I lost all my coins? Well, I definitely didn't die on this very easy boss, managing to lose all 6 of my health points on this boss that's basically just the like 15th iteration in this game of a boss that's just hit the butt. I like this thing's death noise and the noise it makes in general. So like this weird like I'm awful at doing impressions of noises in this game, but whatever. It's a good level. I do like these levels. I have an affinity for like rock, dirt sort of levels in games. Yeah, I mean, like Rise of the Underminer is basically all that, and I've always enjoyed that, as well as I've talked about before my affinity for like machinery and mechanical aesthetics in games, and like robot-centric games and media and things. I've always just enjoyed big machines, looking at big machines when I was a kid. It was always something. I loved trains and trucks and things when I was a kid, and I loved robots. I still love things that have robots in them. Fascinated by robots. Automata, like those really old ones they made like hundreds of years ago that are just like basically dolls but look fucking crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to, there are 2 levels here, one that I really like and one that I really don't, and once again we're going to start off with the one that I really don't like, which is this one. This is actually, earlier when I was saying I'm going to do the more annoying of the 2 levels, and I went to Hightail Falls, for some reason I was thinking it was this level. I don't like this. I don't like the Fluzzard levels. I think the controlling of it is terrible. I don't like these things where you have to like point the Wiimote in weird ways. I just don't like how, if you want to have any like forward movement whatsoever, you kind of have to, at least I have to point the Wiimote down basically. Yeah, like I was going starting position and I was like full diving, and that can create problems when there's a bunch of obstacles and shit, and you don't want to just be nose diving into everything. Yeah, like I barely moved, obviously you can't really tell from the recording, but I barely moved my wrist more down than I did when I was doing the starting position, and I got the thing. Anyway, the thing that usually gives me trouble with this one is not the level itself, but getting the comet medal, which involves going through all of these little thingies, and then it appears at the end, and you kind of have to, level yourself out to collect it in the middle of the air at the end. Luckily, did not have any problems with that this time around. It's very convenient. Usually it's the other way around. That's something I normally don't have a problem with. It suddenly gives me a bunch of trouble when I'm recording it. But this time, this went pretty smoothly for the most part. I probably didn't apply the best technique or whatever to the flying because I suck at it. But I, like I said, kind of think the control scheme of this is bad. I just don't enjoy it. It's always been one of my least favorite levels in this, and it's not the only one, of course. I think there's at least one more. And we will, of course, be coming back here to do the Prankster Comet, where we'll probably have to do, I'm guessing, just a shorter timed run or something. Or maybe purple coins? Oh, fuck me. It's purple coins. It's gonna suck. But, whatever. Beat it for now. We'll get back to it later. So that's that for now. Here's me completely failing at doing a backward flip because I'm really good at this game. And now we are going into the level that I actually like, which is Cosmic Cove Galaxy. This is one of the chill and relaxing levels in these games. At least from what I remember of the two of them, Mario Galaxy has the distinction of being very rare example of games where the water levels are not the absolute worst ones. At least from what I remember. I remember liking the water levels in this pretty well. I don't love controlling in the water, but I am kind of forgiving on that because there are very few games that have water movement controls that I think, or not even really just controls, but just the movement that I think are, you know, good, like feel good, whatever, to play. It's you know, a tricky thing to get to feel right in a game, especially something like this where you're not only, you know, swimming in water, which already kind of gives you all of these different dimensions of movement that can make, in the 3D environment, can make it a little bit difficult to make work. But you're also on these, like, you know, later on these weird, like, spheroids and everything, and crazy gravity stuff, and we're gonna be later on in just, like, big floating cubes of water and whatnot, so I think for the most part, it's pretty fine. And of course, the music is extremely good and relaxing. Actually, earlier the other day, while I was writing, just hanging out and working on stuff, I was listening to some music as I normally do, and I was actually listening to the soundtrack for this game, because playing through this game has reminded me of all of these very nice songs that are on the soundtrack. Both ones that are in the first game as well, and original ones for this game. And this was one of the songs that I was playing because it's very nice, it's very calm and serene, and whatever frustration I might have with the level itself kind of goes away when I'm just focusing on the music and the vibes and all that jazz. And by the way, I hope, this is just kind of something that I've been meaning to mention at some point. I hope that this game looks okay. Like, I hope the recording looks alright. This is, you know, as most of you know, this is the first thing I'm doing with a capture card. Not ever, but on this channel, and really, you know, might as well be the first ever. And I mean, I think it looks fine, and I mean, I am recording it in 1080 using the adapter that I have hooked up to my capture card. And the Wii obviously is not natively in 1080, so, and I'm not nearly savvy enough to do any sort of like post-production upscaling or whatever, if that is an option. I know I've definitely seen higher quality captures of this game before on YouTube, but so I'm sorry if you're the kind of person who, when you watch a Let's Play, you are looking for something that looks a little bit more crisp, perhaps, or maybe higher frame rate. This is only 30 frames per second, because again, that's just what the game is normally. And I mean, this is what I'm seeing on my TV when I play this game, so I don't think it looks bad. I honestly don't mind, like, more lo-fi recording, especially of older games, because it kind of fits for me. It's kind of part of the charm of this era of games, for me at least. And obviously I grew up with fucking lo-fi presentation of games and lo-fi recording of games for a long time. So it doesn't really faze me as much as long as, it's a clear enough image, it doesn't like hurt my eyes to look at, and as long as the audio is clear and everything, I'm not very picky, and, that's reflected in the production value of my videos on both my channels, and I know that it annoys some people, or it's not exactly up to some people's very high standards of quality content. But, this is some shit that I do in my free time. This is me vibing out with games that I like and talking about shit with mostly just a handful of people who have enjoyed my videos for a while and like to check in. So, forgive me if I'm not trying to be the next Chugga-Conroy or whatever. Speaking of which, I would really like to revisit a Chugga-Conroy LP one of these days. Maybe the Mario Sunshine one, because that's the one that I first saw from him. And just see how I like it. Just, like, see if I can even get through, like, a whole Let's Play, because it's really been a long time since I've watched a whole Let's Play of a game from beginning to end. It's just not really the kind of thing that I watch anymore. And I don't even really watch too much stuff on YouTube to begin with. If I'm watching anything for any extended period of time, it's usually a movie or a TV show or something, or I'm listening to a podcast or something, but whatever. Anyway, I kind of shit the bed at getting this bunny. I didn't have much trouble with it on my practice file, but for some reason here it took me 2 tries, but it's not that big a deal. I'm just gonna stand here for a couple more minutes. Hey, there's that flip. That's what I was trying to do before. I guess I really had to think about that one. No, I think what actually happened there is that at this point I'd been recording for a pretty long uninterrupted time at this point, and so I was like, I didn't know where I was gonna cut off the video, because I knew that there was gonna be stuff that I would cut out because I was fucking up a lot. So, I just, like, left a little bit of time in between going into each mission from here on out, or tried to for most of them, just in case I wanted to have the space to do a good fade out and then fade back in, so it would be at least a little bit smoother of a transition. And there's a goddamn battery, but don't worry, after this mission, I went and put new batteries in, so don't you worry. But yeah, so I usually give, like, 10-15 seconds in between going into the next level, just in case I need to cut it there, and so it can be a little bit smoother. And if it's in the middle of the video, I don't really bother taking it out, because, it's like 10 or 15 seconds, and it's not really worth doing a cut, at least in my opinion. You get to sit with the game a little bit, you just get to let each level sink in for a minute. Anyway, I enjoy this level. I completely forgot about the last part of it that you'll see at the end with the big globe of water. Well, you make it a big globe of water. You'll see. But I remembered this part, and I kind of prefer these kinds of water levels in this because where it's the, from the side perspective, because the movement is a little bit clearer, because you really only have, up, down, left, right movement. You don't really have to worry about much else. It can still be a little bit disorienting, though, sometimes. And sometimes you hit your head on a big, spiky urchin, or whatever it is. And the next part is pretty cool with the floating cubes of water. I always enjoyed that part. I always kind of wish that there was more with that in this game. I don't remember there being that many examples of it. There are a lot of levels in Mario 3D Land that are like this. Or I guess not a lot, but I know that there are at least a couple that I can think of in Mario 3D Land that have this sort of 2D sort of perspective, and you're in sort of like underwater caves going in and out of water and having those like eels that come out of the sides and everything like that. So, pretty cool. And then Mario Odyssey, that's going to be crazy when I get to that game, because that game is just like an entirely different beast of a Mario game. It feels quite different. I don't really know how to explain why, and it also doesn't. It also, to a great degree, feels like classic Mario, but it also kind of feels like it's reinventing it a little bit. I really, really like that game. I think it's really good. I've only beaten it once, and I have not at all gotten all of the stuff. There's so much fucking stuff to do in that game. My idea was to do a 100% run of all the 3D Mario games, just to be consistent, but I may have to fudge it with Mario Odyssey, because there's a lot of fucking shit in that game to get. Like, even just getting all the moons, and I don't even know if that's the extent of the 100% completion thing. Also, I think this star made of star bits is cute, and it gives you a lot of star bits, and I got exactly 100, so that's even cuter, But yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of them are really like not interesting to watch me get. A lot of them are just kind of there, and at least for me, even if I'm using a guide, I kind of just have to like wander around to find them. And that's going to be such a pain in the dick to record and edit, and it's not even going to be that fun to watch. I'm not going to have anything interesting to say about it. So I'd either do that shit like in a stream or something, or I'll just skip it entirely and come up to some arbitrary point. I don't know if it's just going to be completing the story and like trying to get as much stuff as I can in the meantime, because there is some stuff that you just have to backtrack for. Or what, but I'll figure out something when I get to that, but I really don't know if I'm going to get 100%, because, again, I don't know how motivated I'll really be to spend that much time doing something for what will ultimately be very little, like, actual content for, like, per, like, hour of recording and everything, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'll have the time or the energy or the desire to do that, so, and I don't know if people would even really feel the need to watch it. So that one might be just doing the main story and, yeah, just trying to get as much stuff as I can. Or, finishing the story and then just going for as long as I want and then finishing. I mean, I hate to end on such a, like, arbitrary note like that, but what are you gonna do? I also just in general want to let's play some Switch games, because, they're like newer games and everything. But, I don't own that many, and I'm not really, like, in a position to LP any of them at the moment. Like, I don't want to do Odyssey right now, because I'm obviously doing this. And then, like, it's like Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and Breath of the Wild, which I haven't even started, and don't think that would be a good idea. But anyway, once again, I've talked myself to the very end of the video, so next time we'll be going on the end of World 2, finishing up World 2 first passer levels, so see you then for that.